Well, today I'm showing you how to use the app Paint 2, and what I mean by app is it's in the App Store. Like if you go on the App Store on your computer, like I am right now, and you click on the search button and you search up Paint 2 is on there also. But if you just search up Paint, it's right there, Paint 2. And if I go to it, it's a really good app. It has undo and redo, and you can use layers. There is of course other apps. The other apps that there are also PaintX Lite, but the app that I recommend using if you're going to use apps like PaintX Lite, I recommend that you use things like you use Paint 2, and once you get your thing on Paint 2, like this is a thumbnail for one of my videos. When you get your thing on Paint 2, you're going to need to, I'm gonna give you a tutorial on how to use Paint 2 and then how to do some other stuff in PaintX Lite. So now I'm just gonna close that up. So there are of course several other things like Paintcat, or Toolbox, or Logoist, or Paint, just Paint, there are several apps that are super good, super useful. There are apps like PaintPad, which is exactly like Paint 2, just like a copy of it, or Paint 2 was a copy of it. But there are plenty of apps here to find that are like that. So there's PaintX and all those other things. So, what is that? I won't use this. Oh, it's you can record your Mac screen, microphone, and camera. So basically it's a QuickTime Player, which as you can see, that's what I'm using right down here. Which I just realized the most annoying thing, the fact that I'm going to pull this up and click stop your screen recording. But whatever. So today I'm showing you how to use PaintX, not PaintX, Paint 2, downloaded off of the App Store, which it's pretty easy to use. As you can see, I made this this thumbnail for a video that it's still uploading, but there are several tools on the top, as you can see: settings, and scenery adders, and layers. So I'm just going to show you how to use Paint 2 in a basic kinda way. So all you have to do is, once you get the Paint 2 app, you're going to need to click Create New. Then you need to select how big you want it to be. I recommend 888 width and 888 height. This is a good thing, and it can be pixels, inches, centimeters, or millimeters. And there are pixels by inch or pixels by centimeters, and your resolution. Keep it on 72, because 72 is a good resolution. So the first thing you realize is the fact, so I'm pulling that up for future reference. So what you have right here, you see, is stuff. So you're going to have to start making layers. Now, the layers will be shown on the side here, and you can go up and down and you can delete layers. So if I go right here, so there are several different tools. So the first one is the tolerance tool, and that changes the color, right? And if you use it, so there's that. There's of course this, which is just for making little areas that are prepared for your pictures, or drawings. So right here we have this, which is the same thing on this, except with a little plus thing instead. So I'm going to show you how to delete things. So when you go like this, click on your mouse. I wish I could show you, like, here I can bring this up. Okay, so on your mouse, there's the right and left. So on it, there's right and left, and click the right click. I'm short. Okay, so there's right click. So just go like that and click the delete button, and it will delete that. It'll say this is like a layer and all that. It's several different things. And then there's crop tool, which all you have to do is say you want to crop a picture. I'll pull up this screenshot and add it. And then you click on this tool and you can crop it and double click and your picture will be cropped. So this is good for customized thumbnails and more. And you can just click crop and you can crop the canvas. So yeah, you can undo everything that you've done. All you have to do is just click the X button, don't save, and click renew. Alrighty, so the next tool is the text tool, which you just spread out the text as big as you want. And there are different things like what color you want your text to be. And on it, I go like this and I go high. And I can choose a big resolution. I can be like, hi guys, or something like that. And if you want to delete the text tool, just use the right click button and you can either use rename or delete and just delete it. Alrighty, so the next thing is this, which you can't see it very well. So if I put a background on here and I spread it out a bit, when I spread out the picture, as you can see little dot things. And that is the airbrush, so you can delete the layers, and you'll notice that it'll delete these. So the image here, so I have this image, and this is the airbrush. So basically I can make it look like a fairy pixie dust sloth, which I actually like that, so I'm saving that. I'm gonna just
don't recast your dad, babe.
just click that save. So if you want to save your thing, just do what I just did, sleuth, and you can save it.
3 or 4 for about an hour.
Okay,
Yeah, probably a
so
little less if it's closer to 4.
you just saw what the airbrush tool does. So next is the pencil tool. This is when you want things to look more pencil-y and realistic, like in your drawings, which I actually can use this very well. And if you want to delete layers, you can select a group selected layers, and this is a group, and that is part of the group. So group all layers. So this is part of the group. Then when you do this, you delete the group layer, and then your group layer is deleted. So this is pretty easy to use. Each line that you make, so it's better to use a smooth stroke, because each line that you make, so if I went like this, you'll see that adds a new sketch. But this is pretty easily, just right click and click group all layers, and all of your layers will be grouped into one. And you'll see that you can pull them on and off and just right click the group and then click delete, and the file will be deleted. All your layers will be deleted. Or you can group a bunch of separate layers, knowing that you might need to delete them. Okay, so the next tool is the eraser tool, and the only way you'll see that it adds another thing that you did. So if I go like this, what if I if I accidentally have this on like black or something, I go all around and then I go like this, and then I accidentally fill it in. Well, that's the eraser tool. You can also just remove the layers separately on the side, like remove each drawing part. But you can, of course, just erase it with the eraser tool, which it's pretty easy to use, isn't too hard. You just have to make sure that you get everything. And you'll notice that your little layer thingies are gonna still be there. And so just group all layers and delete that. So the next tool is the color tool, which you'll notice that I have it on this special linear and radial and fill gradient. So what it is fill. It's a fill gradient, and what you can do is you can spread out the fill of the gradient, and it'll have this nice color that you can change it of. And what I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. So I'm going to use a bit of a lighter blue here, and let's fill that with that kind of lighter blue that I used. Okay, let's study this. So that color that I used, I'm going to use a color that I can remember this time. So if you want to, I'm just going to delete that and then that. Oops. Select it and delete it. Okay, so now I'm going to delete these. Alrighty, so this thing is to fill the gradient. And when I click that, and then I push out like this, and I fill up the gradient with this. And there's this fill gradient thing in the corner, and I can change around the colors. Thing that I like the most, I can kind of customize it, and it'll save my parts that I've customized, so I can just click over to them whenever I want to. So say I wanted this one for my fill gradient. So that's my fill gradient, and something that you can do is you can grab a color that you'll remember. So that one, say. Okay, and then it's still on that one. And I click this, and now I select that one, and then I fill it. And you can delete one of your fills, so it's only a little bit. And you can fill in a little bit of it. The fill, you have to make sure that you fill in the part that you'd like to fill in. So this is the selected fill that I want to get rid of. So now my fill, say I want to delete that fill, and now the sketch will be there, and delete that, and I can delete the gradient. So the next thing, I'm actually going to keep the gradient. So what you need to do for this one is it's a kind of line making thing where you click on each end. So I just made a triangle, but you can make several different kinds of things. So click on this, and you make each part and click on each end when you want to. And then you can click here to end, or you can go past it. And then you can circle back over to that spot to end it. And then you can. So, say I made this, and you can select your drawings. And one thing that I forgot to mention about something that you make several layers for. So, say I grabbed this screenshot. And I spread out the screenshot, and I decided that I wanted it with this tool in a dark red. I make the alphas look evil, because I do that. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. beautiful art right here. So it'll layer each sketch in the corner. But say you want to make sure that you don't edit any of your sketch layers. So if you don't want to edit any of your sketch parts, if you don't want to edit your red eyes on your alphas, all except for Greeley, Myra's also evil. Sorry to say, but she just is. And Mojam Lahar. Okay, anyways, guys, I'm getting off track here. I'm creating this whole thing. Alrighty, so say I have this whole line of sketches. So when you click the add button, it groups things together and you can add each sketch to your group. So just add each sketch to a group or click delete and you can slowly delete each sketch. Or you can just go like this and add it to the bottom sketch. And add it to the group of sketches. And slowly I'm putting these all into a group. And you'll notice that it highlights each sketch. It doesn't get rid of sketches. No. Well, it kind of does for some of them because I deleted some sketches already. But just throw all of your sketches or whatever. But say you didn't want to edit your sketches again. So, say you didn't want to edit this sketch, you don't want to move it around or something on accident. You want to keep it like that. All you have to do is click the lock button right here, and you can also go like that. So you can see what it used to look like, and then see what you can edit it, or you can not edit it. Basically, see and not see. So this lock button verifies on whether or not you can change things. As you can see, I can still move around this picture, but yeah. Let's just delete this group. I'm gonna keep using this images little thing. Okay, so the next thing is this, and you can make it so there isn't a fill, so you can fill it or not fill it, and it's called the ellipse, and it's right there, and it's like a little speech bubble, and so what you can do is you can add okay, so there's a little speech bubble I made. I'll just fill it up with text. Like, I forgot to. Did I mention that you can move around the text? Oopsie daisy. Let's go to my text layer. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove these. So this is the ellipse, which is like a little circle, and I'm just gonna lock that layer and delete it. Okay. So the next thing is like the ellipse, but it is called the round rectangle. And it just is like a rectangle except rounded on the edges. It's just like a little thing you can add text in if you want to or something like that. Right here we've got a normal rectangle that isn't rounded on the edges. I'll show you the comparison. So if we compare this, you'll notice that this rectangle is a bit different. This one has pointy ends, and this one is non-pointy. So the next thing is this, which it's like a line. So say you want to make a line on the top of your drawing, or it's supposed to be called a curve, but the real purpose of it is you click on this, and then you do that, and then you click this, and rotate. Okay. I believe also on your keyboard, if you click if I wanted to delete, say, this line, So I want to delete that. Well, you can delete a layer of your image by clicking on that thing and clicking the delete button. You don't have to go like this and click delete. And you can deselect your image by just clicking on another part of your image thing. Okay, so the next thing is the main line. But this is like the first one out of these kind of ones that I showed you. You can double click to end it if you don't want to end it at that special point or something. And I'm going to, it is called the broken line. I'm going to lock that. When I mean lock, it means you can't change it or move it around. So it's basically like Z. That's what it shows. Just gonna, and finally is the line.
Your mom is texting me.
Okay, and then there's the fill tool, which I showed you. You can do something like this and not fill it in, and then fill it. And you can entirely fill it in. But all you have to do is not fill it in. Alrighty, and the final one is the quote-unquote color finder. So you take an image or you have colors and you want to set it as, say, your stroke color, or set as your fill color, because you forgot that color. Just go click the fill button, or go to your pencil, and now your fill, or your color is this. So, that was how to use Paint. So, Paint 2, and basically, this is my edited image that I just quickly created and filled. Oh, that's cool. You can make it like a pixel line. No. Okay, but basically, alright, so now you have your image. So what do you do now to save it? Well, just click this and click the save button and name it and select the location for it. Documents, desktop, applications. I'm going to send it to my desktop. I'm going to save it as Hi. So now you'll have your Hi Paint, and you can double click on it and double click on it on your desktop, and you can pull up the Hi Paint. And basically you can recycle your paint by throwing it into your trash, but you'll still be able to access your recent document. And if you just look at this, I have a bunch of trash pictures. But if you go up and down your list, you can see I have these. So that's basically the trash files. And so now you've made a few different documents on it, and I've trashed my paint. So your recent documents, you have your gradients and all this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial on how to use, well, not really short, this tutorial on how to use the app Paint 2. I hope you enjoyed this, and tell me if you'd like to, well, if you'd like to know any other tutorials, feel free to tell me in the comments down below, and I'll see you.